she grew up in the house of Paro. I mean, wasn't this unrealistic? She's going to bring this Jewish little baby home? I don't think so. I mean, we never think about it. He was a despot. And she's going down there and she knows that who else is going to be abandoned that way but a Jewish little baby. And she is so moved by this and so devastated by this potential tragedy and so sincerely wants to do something. And it's so out of reach of who she is, who her father is, what her circumstances are, who that little baby is. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. But no, she makes it work. Because she so much wants to do it that Hashem helps her. How many times have we had an opportunity to do something, we said, nah. Or we said, it's like the realists don't always do it. It's always the dream. Sometimes we need the dreamer too, that so much more, and Hashem helps. And that's Batya. We have her, and then we know that Moshe, he's not even raised with his people. He goes away, and he marries Sipporah, and then Hashem gives him this mission, and he's on his way back, and they're on the verge of this amazing salvation. Right on the verge. And Hashem is about to wipe him out because he didn't circumcise his son. And he can't figure out what's wrong. Tzipporah does, immediately. And she saves his life. It's something that the Torah is showing us about the redemptive aspects of our personal lives and the redemptive aspects of our universal lives, that the women have the potential, again, it's not ego, it's not arrogance, it's what Hashem gave us that we can do. And doing our role the best way we can gives the glory back to Hashem. So, you can do this. Carry the redemption from stage to stage and keep it resuscitated and breathing all the time. This is so deep because it works on a very personal level with the people in our lives, and it works on a communal level, and it works on a global level. And depending on who we are, what Hashem has given us, it goes through all of them, for all of us, in different ways. So, we are to birth the redemption, both personal and universal. And then we go back and we understand what the midwives were actually saying, because Parah said, "What is this? You defied me." Again, we never think about that. What it means to defy Hitler or Ahmadinejad. What it means, what they did. We just read the nice verses and we know the end of the story, but we don't understand what they did. Because what they did was not a cute verse. They risked their lives for bringing life, bringing hope, and bringing the future, and bringing the redemption. Without a people, there's no redemption. And so, these women, we did it, and this is what we're to do, brick by brick. Again, back to the moon, the Livona means a brick by brick. Because everyone does it, and you say, who am I? I just have my little family. That's huge. That's huge. Even if we just have my little self, that's huge. Really and truly. So, we go back to the midwives, and Paro's really angry at them, and they say, what do you want from us? Ki chayot hena. These women are animals. They deliver by themselves. They don't need us. And it sounds like a little derogatory verse there. It does. It really does. When we read it like that. But then when we read it the way the Torah gives it to us, Ki chayot hena, because they are those that bring life. It's a totally different thing. They are chayas. Chaya is the original name of womankind. They are chayas. They are multiple chayas. They are the life givers, the driving force behind life, and that we cannot stop it. It's an incredible, incredible teaching for each and every one of us in our own lives. So, we're being taught that we have this ability, this responsibility, this God-given potential to bring life, to bring redemption in whatever way that speaks to us in very individual lives, how to get out of our personal Egypts, whatever way that speaks to us. it's very important to know what we're capable of. And the more aware we become of our potential, of our capability, the more it is possible for us to overcome and to utilize and to spin with and build with the circumstances that Hashem gave each and every one of us. And we need to learn how to translate this into action, to bring the Yud back into our name, into our lives, into our relationships. We need, with Hashem's help, to each, in a very personal way, understand how we all can make a difference. And that is my blessing to all of us in this room, that with God's help, we live up to our potential. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you, ladies. Okay, are we done?
We still have time.
Oh, wait, how much time do we have? What time is it?
It's 5 after 10.
Oh, wow. Baruch Hashem. Okay, so we could do questions. I don't know if I have any answers, but we could try for questions. Okay.
You could
repeat the question. Okay.
What's kind of a personal question?
Do you want to ask me later?
Well, it's regarding the purity laws that are going to
Okay.
discuss later.
It's up to you.
Well, I
If I feel it becomes personal for you, then we'll talk about it more later.
Well, I wanted to know. I know with for the Jewish women, the mikvahs and things, their family purity laws are requirement. What about for us who, doesn't know how women? What are we to? Because I think Rashi mentioned that in the no height thing is that I guess purity in sexuality and things like that is also for us. So I was wondering, do we also have to go to a mikvah?
Okay. What's your name?
Brenda.
Brenda? Okay, Brenda's asking an excellent question. Her question is, how do the laws of family purity apply to a Gentile woman, and do they at all apply to a Gentile woman? It's a very excellent question. There is not one answer to this, because people are in very, very different places. People have very different life situations, and husbands and wives not necessarily on the same page as everything. But what my husband has learned from his rabbis, Rabbi Schwartz and others, is that, first of all, let's back up. The laws of family purity are amazing. Absolutely, absolutely amazing. There's no word to describe this enough. From all the many people that I have counseled, from, I teach brides, I tell you that this is amazing, and the Torah has brilliant insights into relationships, and the laws of family purity are very, very, very often misunderstood because, again, of looking at the Torah with strange eyes. We look at the Torah with very strange eyes when we come without knowledge, without education, without background, and without the proper motivation. We look at the Torah with very strange eyes. This has nothing to do with taboo at all. This has nothing to do with, being ostracized at all. All the laws of purity, not only with women in menstruation and childbirth, all the laws of purity relate to connectivity with the divine. And that's why I will go to the most extreme example, which is the example of the laws of the impurity that death brings. We could take the most righteous person of the generation, and when he dies, his body, not him because he's somewhere else, his body contains the most severe levels called Avi Avot HaTumah, the most severe level, because there's different levels of impurity. The most severe level of impurity is the impurity that is brought down by death. And why is this? What is impurity? All the laws of purity and impurity could be backed up and understood on a deep level as being connected, how much we are connected or disconnected from the divine flow. And so when a person dies, his body is completely disconnected. And that's why it's the most severe. So why is menstruation? You can go through all the different types of impurity, and it's about a disconnect with the maximum divine flow. So what's wrong with menstruation? Because every single one of these types of impurity, women, men, are about loss of potential. Each and every one of them. So when a person dies, that's it. What you did, you did. It's gone. It's the ultimate. When a woman gets her period, there's a loss of potential, a potential human being that can come into the world. And all of you should be on your toes and ask me a very good question. So why is a woman rendered impure through childbirth? And why? It's not applicable today at all, the female child or male child, because women are different today, so the healing after birth is different, so it doesn't really apply. It's like moot. But in the Torah, not only is there impurity as a result of childbirth, but there's more when a girl is born there. You gotta quit you. The Torah is against women. Right? And this is what people think. This is what people really, really think. But let's understand what's going on. Why is childbirth a loss? And this is very deep for all you young women and all you young grandmothers who have daughters that are childbearing age. A woman, from the moment she conceives that child, she is not walking around with one soul. She is walking around with two souls. It is incredible. She's got a double soul. And that's why, what a woman does when she's pregnant, what she reads, what she sees. Because it's not only another soul, it's a soul that has not yet experienced anything negative. And there is even a custom that most people don't even know. Is when a pregnant woman walks into the room, you stand up. Because you are standing up for that absolute pure soul, which has now become part of me. Did anyone ever wonder about postpartum depression? You know what postpartum depression really is? You are totally thrown off hormonally, but the physical world is a manifestation, a description, a clue into the spiritual world. A woman is ripped in half. She goes down by half of that incredible spirituality. To her, it is a devastating loss. It doesn't make a difference that, thank God, she has a beautiful child. The spiritual imbalance that has been created for her is absolutely painful and shakes her up totally. And it's a loss. So you look at a woman with postpartum and say, how dare you? No, you would never think of saying that. Because you say her hormones are all messed up. So what about spiritually? She went from double voltage to half. And it's a healing process to get back. And then why a girl more than a boy? We already know the answer now. We are taught in the Torah, the oral Torah, that the soul of a woman essentially is on a much higher level. So the loss that a woman experiences when she gives birth to a female child is a deeper soul loss. And so it's so tragic to me. This is the truth of why I started teaching about Melech, because I hate cameras and I hate public speaking, really and truly. But because I felt Hashem's name being desecrated through ignorance about what a Jewish woman is and what female potential is and how the Torah looks at women. And so to know that every single thing in our lives is to elevate us to our potential. And the women have this potential. And they also bring this elevated sexual relationship to their husbands. And they're bringing a complete relationship to their husbands, because we are forced into a place of looking at each other from every angle. We are forced into a place of keeping our relationship new always, forever. Fresh, appreciated, new. We are forced into a place of being able to look at every level of our relationship and develop every level of our relationship, and much, 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 much more. So getting back to the question, a righteous Gentile woman does not immerse in a mikveh. That is for a Jewish woman. But my husband has received from his rabbis that for sure, if it's possible to refrain from sexuality during the menstrual flow, to utilize that time for all the things I was just saying about developing other sides of the relationship, bringing true closeness and appreciation and friendship on all levels, because marriages are falling apart left and right. We don't appreciate each other, we get bored with each other, we don't even know each other because we only look in one way. How many women have I counseled that feel like objects? What, the Torah, which is the manual for life, the healthy, emotional, spiritual, social living, says this is not supposed to happen. This is not supposed to happen when you utilize my Torah correctly. So it's different, it's individual, and you could speak to me privately, anyone can speak to me privately because everyone's story is different. But definitely to mark that time to develop the relationship differently and to acknowledge that your needs at that time are different. Because, sometimes a woman, when she has a menstrual cycle, she feels low or edgy. Again, this is reflecting something spiritual, because even if she didn't want a baby, and she's very happy that she got a period, she's not happy at the deepest level of potential, on a soul level. And so, maybe I answered your question, I don't know. Did I? A little? You could come to me. Okay. Do we have time for another question?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Thank you for asking that question. Yes.
How does that relate to now the older women, like us, that are going through menopause and everything is...
Okay. That's an excellent question. It's an absolute excellent question. And the truth is, on one level... Oh, I'm so sorry. Her question was, how does it relate to older women or women that are going through menopause? That's an excellent question. And I actually had a bride, which is so unusual, and it was actually one of my daughter-in-laws who I taught, asked me this question, and I said to her, that is the most beautiful question coming from a young girl, because young girls don't think like that. And what was the motive of her question? She said, I don't want to give all this up. So many women look at this as a burden. I don't want to give all this up. What happens when I don't have to do that anymore? Some of you who know might guess which daughter-in-law it was. And I said, so-and-so? I said, I am so impressed with you because you understand exactly what we're talking about. And the truth is that it's unfortunate if a woman is coming to this now and has not had the opportunity to build the relationship all through those years, because you're discovering facets of each other that you might not have discovered, or closeness that you might not have discovered, or care and nurturing, because a husband and wife love each other every day, not only when a woman and a man could be sexual. And so, on one level, all that work of the young years is so important. But on another level, Hashem puts us where we're supposed to be. So we didn't get that, we have to do it now. So the truth is, it does become more challenging, but also an older person hopefully has forged a relationship, and it's a deeper, more secure relationship on all fronts. So they have more vessels. But we could take the spiritual ideology behind these commandments and apply them to our lives. How do we spend time together? What do we do together? How do we appreciate who each other are? Do we talk? Do we assign times to make sure these things happen? And this is something that we can work on as we get older, for sure. For sure. Dina, you had a question?
I just wanted to, your scripture was in Lamentations 4:19.
I will check that out. Does anybody write it down? 4:14. I'll look it up for you. Oh, you don't see it? Kumi Roni Balayla? Okay, I will find it for you.
We found on 2:19.
Yeah, so what did I say? Oh, so then I just said it wrong. When you found it in, what did you found it in 2? Okay. Okay, fine. Kumi Roni Balayla. I will look it up, but it's there and it's on the tape. Okay, so we now will put 2 on the tape. Lamentations 2. Okay. Okay.
I think it was Leviticus 4:19.
What?
Balayla.
No, Kumi Roni Balayla is from Lamentations.
That's what I meant to say.
Yes. Okay.
4:19.
No, but she said it. I said 4, but it was actually in 2. Okay, you know what? I don't want to take our precious time on this. We could do this later, and we will clarify it. I promise you that the verse is there. Thank you for clarifying. What is your question?
Okay. What type of mitzvahs apply to the older, divorced, widowed woman? I mean, that's not in a relationship.
But you are in a relationship. A woman that doesn't have a spouse has many relationships. And that is my point. And that was the point of Deborah the prophet. You take all of this to all your relationships. So it's an excellent question, and I tried to say it while I was speaking because I cannot underline it enough, that it's not only about the traditional marriage relationship, parental relationship, it goes way beyond that. Okay? Question?
First of all, I want to thank you for your beautiful teaching.
Thank you.
What you said about the postpartum depression relating to the soul of a female child was just great insight. And I have a question along that line. In the Zohar, we're taught that one of the reasons that there's a longer separation for a female child is because it takes longer for the female soul to settle in the body.
Uh-huh.
So I was wondering if you have any insight as to this aspect of that. If that is true, then why, or is there a different length of time to sit Shiva for a female as opposed to a male?
Okay, that's an excellent question. I'll repeat the question. She asked about something in the Zohar. I do not typically learn Zohar, so I will not even attempt to go there. We were discussing the idea of, we were talking about the female soul versus the male soul, and we were talking, we had the insights of why the postpartum period according to Torah is different, etc., so forth, and she...
interrupted the male soul.
Yes.
Ladies, I'm sorry I won't be able to see you anymore. I have to catch a plane. I'm just saying goodbye, and I'm saying I would like to see you soon again.
Safe journey, Rabbi Hollander. So her question was what she has studied in the Zohar. I don't study Zohar. You know, sometimes Zohar comes to me through other studies. So, but she said that she has studied in the Zohar that it takes the female soul a longer time to settle in the body, and she wanted to understand. So why is the Shiva laws when a soul leaves the body not different? So the thoughts that I would have on this, if the Zohar doesn't indeed say that, I believe you. I just haven't seen it. It makes sense. Because the female soul is coming from a higher place, and it has to now merge on a physical plane. But leaving is easy.
Sure. Then we should sit shorter.
But the truth of the matter is, the Shiva that we sit, God forbid, when we lose a close person, is not primarily even for that soul, it's for the people that are left behind.
Yeah.
5 minutes? Done?
You have time for one question.
One question. One more question.
Thank you.
Does anybody have one more question?
So when are you writing the book that celebrates the power of women and the Torah and the Midrash?
Bring it down, sister.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's been a pleasure, and Bezrat Hashem will be here today if anybody wants private time. Okay. Thank you so much.